Look, it's easy to get bogged down in everything that's going on in your life. It's easy to get wrapped up in what's going on in the world, what's happening on social media, what's happening in the country, what's happening with your neighbors, your friends, your family, what's happening right here with your immediate family. Whether you're married, whether you have kids, whatever's going on, it's like we all have so many things happening. And then we have our job. We have our responsibilities. We got bills to pay. We got so many obligations and so many things just weighing on our mind. And it's easy to lose sight of what's most important. It's easy to get distracted. It's easy to feel alone. It's easy to feel lost. The key is to pause. That's what you got to do. Sometimes you just have to pause. You have to take a step back and say, hey, what is it that I'm facing right now? What is it I'm facing? And am I really alone? Like, if you have a spouse, do they know what you're feeling? Have you talked to them about it? Have you let them know what the burdens that are weighing on your mind, on your heart, that you just carry with you on a daily basis? If you haven't let them know, is that really on them that you feel alone? How old are your kids? Are your kids old enough that you should be sharing with them, hey, I got some pressure right now? Whether it's something you need to dive into details or something that, hey, they're kids, you need to shelter them a little bit. Maybe you should just give them some insight. Even toddlers, you can talk to them and say, hey, daddy's having a rough day. Daddy's been having a rough time, but daddy loves you and daddy's here with you. I ain't left. I'm right here, and I'm sorry if I sounded cranky. I'm sorry if I sounded short. But the reality is daddy's carrying some things right now. And you may not understand, but you know, the thing is God speaks to us through our children. He does. He speaks to us through our children, and sometimes our kids don't even need to be told, but they'll come up to you, they'll hug you, they'll be there, they'll be like, okay, mom and dad, like something's going on. You know, and they may not understand what's going on because their mind hasn't fully grasped that yet. They haven't experienced that yet. Or maybe they just haven't heard you communicate what it is that's going on, but they know, hey, mom's feeling a little down. Dad seems a little stressed. Dad seems a little not like dad. You know, this isn't an abnormal thing. Kids can be a solid support for you, and they can help you through the struggles that you're having. If you don't feel comfortable speaking to your kids, that's okay. But be sure you're speaking to somebody. Be sure you're dealing with what's going on so that way you're not taking that out on your kids. Because they're going to feel it if you're not dealing with it. They're going to feel that mom and dad don't seem like mom and dad. They don't seem like they normally do. They ain't here just, you know, embracing me and carrying me through whatever I'm going through. Something's not right. And they may not be able to articulate that something's not right, but they're going to feel it. Then, most importantly, above all that, God has never left your side. Even when things seem at their worst, God's with you. He hasn't left you. You know, my mom always loved Footprints. It was her favorite poem. And she literally had multiple of those throughout the house. She had them on a plaque, on a little poster, on a little picture, on a little frame, on a little, you know, she had footprints everywhere. It was her favorite thing. And every time, you know, as we moved throughout the year, she would always get a new one if something happened to one of them. But if you don't know Footprints, the idea is that he cries out to God, saying, God, as I walk in the sand, I see your footprints next to me. Except for when things get so burdened, so struggles, things get so hard, I feel so overwhelmed, I no longer see your footprints next to mine. And now I'm all alone. And God responds simply, the reason you don't see my footprints next to yours is because it's in those moments that are so trying that I pick you up and I'm carrying you through. My mom loved this. It spoke deep to my mom because my mom went through a lot in her life. And she shared this with me all the time, like on a regular basis. And it's carried with me all this time, my whole life. And it's important that we don't forget that God's with us. And if you're one of those people, and we're in a social media world, we're in a access to everything instantly gratified right on your phone. Here, I want that information and I want to know what's going on with everybody right now. That's the world we live in. That's the world we're conditioned to be, right? So because of that, we look at other people sometimes and we're like, man, Tommy seems to got it all together. I don't get it. Susan, everything's working for her. Why is it so hard for me? Look, first of all, Scripture says there's always going to be trials and tribulations. There's always going to be struggles. Why? Because we live on earth in a world of sin. We do. There's always going to be struggles. There's always going to be trials. Now, the thing is first of all, you don't know what Susan and Tommy, you don't know what everybody's going through. You just see snippets. You see highlight reels. You see what they post on their polished up social media. Or you see what they choose to tell you about it. You don't see everything. You see what they choose to share. Secondly, if you're not in a storm, if you're blessed right now and you're just like, man, things are so good and you're feeling live, hey, that's great. That's awesome. Enjoy it and embrace it for the moment, because I promise you, if you're not in a storm, you're on your way into one. But the counterpart to that is, if you're in a storm, you're on your way out. It's not forever. Nothing is forever. All of this is temporary. So if you're struggling, that struggle will pass. And if things are good, embrace them, but plan for when they get bad, because they will. It's going to be okay, though, because God's not going to leave you. And be sure you know who your circle is, because the ones who will really ride with you are going to be there when it hurts the most. Hey, it's your boy. I just wanted to give y'all some little, I don't know, I just felt like I wanted to share this today. It was on my heart. So I hope y'all are having a blessed day. I hope you can take this, share it with somebody else. Share it with your friend, your cousins, share it with your spouse. If you got kids that are grown, share it with your kid. All right, it's your boy. I got nothing but love and respect for all y'all. I'm out.